Hello Internet, how's it going? This week I'm talking about Walking Dead, and I'm talking about the main man, Ezekiel. And pretty much this episode pretty much kind of played off, in the beginning, a lot like how most of the other previous episodes kind of played off, which the only deciding factor of this entire thing was Ezekiel. Because again, we have another flourishing community, we have another flourishing town that has that has pigs and livestock, and they have meat and everything, and of course they have a lot of things that kind of come off as, well, yeah, all this, it looks really nice and it's kind of cool, and people here are actually living in the way that, of course, the people in Alexandria are kind of living. So yeah, it looks kind of nice. The only real problem with this is that, well, because this is a Morgan and a Carol episode, is that we have to talk about Ezekiel. The only actual differentiating thing in this process, because again, just like Rick, he's kind of a reasonable leader. He's a guy who wants to stop the people out there who's fucking with his people. I mean, again, he actually does care for some of his earlier people and everything. He pretty much cherishes the opinions of everybody who pretty much comes his way. And again, he is a nice person, and of course the beginning of this, we have seen the beginning of this so many fucking times, to where is that now it's okay, now this is when pretty much the questions come in, and it comes in kind of beautifully once you start talking about Carol and also Morgan, of how they sort of see this entire thing. Well, Morgan sees pretty much the ugly side of it, which is now how does Ezekiel deal with the fucking saviors? Well, pretty much now they kind of have their own undermined tactic of pretty much just poisoning his people with the pigs in which that they have, and then cutting the belly, then feeding them full of goddamn feeding them full of zombies and shit, so that they can poison the people with it. And then from Carol's perspective, you have the pretty side, which is the nice people. You're doing just about everything you can, man, to help them. And of course, Ezekiel kind of sees both of them doing that shit of saying Morgan is a good guy, but because the dark underbelly, I can trust him, of course. And then for Carol, even though she's seeing the pretty side, it's more or less like she needs to be convinced that I'm not, or at least that we're different, and that we're not in here just trying, man, to make this a fucking game and joke. We really want to live. And it's funny how at the end of this, you actually see that persona of his drop and actually morph back into just a normal fucking guy. Because again, as he pretty much, or at least to put it in layman's terms, when he told us to Carol, don't bullshit a bullshitter. That's just kind of how that is. And it's I see your game, alright? Pretty much the nice woman act is cool and shit, but pretty much the fucked up part about it is, though, is that, again, you just do it because whatever, I do it because I want to be happy. I do it because I just want to just steal from them, get what I need and move on. Because again, I can't trust people. And he tries to tell us you walking away from something good, but then again, in the process of that, we also learn his very interesting story, which is that, she calls into question of him pretty much making this a fantasy land because he's acting like a king. She calls it a fantasy land because he has a fucking tiger, and that all these people are doing these things. And as he pretty much clearly put it, people want somebody to follow. I say I have my tiger. I have my tiger Shiva, and pretty much she loves the fuck out of me because I tried to save her life, and pretty much she does the same for me, and I look out for her, and she looks out same as she looks out for me. Normal shit, right? But again, even with all that though, it's they make up all these stories. They make this shit up in their head. I say I'm their leader, yes, but they put me up on this pedestal, and I have to pretty much have to fake this shit and keep them safe and calm and confident because if I don't, like, shit can crumble. So I get where he's coming from, you know. I mean, again, I still like the fact that he has a fucking tiger by his side, but also you also kind of look at it and it's like, well, yeah, maybe I can help Carol out too. You know, just give her a house somewhere to where that she doesn't have to leave, but it's her own little station area to where that she doesn't have to be around all the bullshit, and she doesn't have to fake it. She can just be who she is, just by living off on her own, and they're just like a skip holler away. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's touching on, like, this episode. It touches on a lot of facets about how to actually survive, like, in the wasteland, or at least like in the pits of Georgia. So of course, and pretty much for one half you have a bustling community, you have a taker community, you have cannibals, and you have those who just want to be left alone. You know, it's pretty, like, you have, like, your very interesting back and forth with it. So I like it. But until then, that is what I gotta say about that. Ezekiel could possibly grow to be one of the, he could grow to be a promising character. Now, I am still sad for what happened to Glenn and Abraham. Yes, that shit was terrible, but this episode, it was a step in the right direction to kind of get people, you know, a little bit of breathing room from that, instead of just throwing them back in there with what the fuck is going on with Rick and everybody. So that is what I gotta say about that. I will see you on the next John Grave show. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.